not get blamed for this mess in the next performance review. I have a cat to feed.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Control.
How'd it go? Where's Philip?
Philip's gone. Something happened before I could get him out.
Poor Philip. He never did like fridge duty. But if you're here, then who's watching the fridge?
The fridge is fine now. I took care of it.
You don't just take care of altered items. What did you do?
I touched it and wound up in the astral plane. This thing was in there. It was huge, had one big eye. Wasn't friendly.
We've been getting reports from the astronauts lately about something fitting that description. The astral plane is usually connected to our world through objects of power, not altered items. If this thing is linking itself to altered items, then it's clearly powerful. This may happen again.
Do you think that thing is what got Philip?
Must have been. The Panopticon is a dangerous place. The agents all know the risks. But, since you're some sort of altered item whisperer, I've got a list of others for you to corral. The Hiss are causing containment breaches left, right, and center. Here, start with these. I'll see if there are any others missing while you're gone. My life just got a whole lot easier.
I'll see you later, Langston.
I'll be here, like always.
What other things can I do? Oh my goodness. We've done 2 side quests in a row. Let's get back to the main story. Wait, I can fast travel from in here. And I can upgrade my abilities. Woo. Why is that ability locked? What do I need to get that ability? I don't know, I'll look it up later. Emily, wrong area, that's not it.
Lots of interesting data off that subject the Rangers brought in.
This way. Emily.
HRAs is purely antithetical to every variant of the Hiss signal I can arrange. But how did Darling create it?
Where did all these files come from? To examine the invasion's timeline of events for possible patterns in Hiss behavior. Establishing a timeline is difficult at present because of lack of reliable communication between Bureau sectors and staff. Preliminary models indicate ground zero of the invasion is located within the executive sector. Once it became possible to interview surviving personnel, pinpointing the exact location should be feasible. Other outstanding questions that a timeline might help answer. How did the Hiss get past the internal lockdown? How does Hiss resonance advance through space deliberately or uniformly? What is their ultimate goal, the outside world, a cross-dimensional destination? Refer to full report. I have a lot of stuff apparently. Oh, an Arctic Queen brand electric refrigerator model from the 1960s, no cooling functionality. The door is decorated with crayon illustrations. By the illustrations cannot be removed from the item. All attempts have failed. The paper cannot be burned or torn. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after it survived the collapse of a New York City's Grand Central Hotel. where it served as an appliance and apartment rented by a man named. It became the subject of local infamy after surviving the building's collapse undamaged. Mr. who was out of the building at the time of collapse, PM retained ownership of the item until 1974, when the Bureau purchased the item through a false identity. New altered effect has been observed. See file AI10F for details. See file AI10K for new containment procedures. Scary. They just threatened me. If we understand the hiss to be a force based on vibration and resonance, then perhaps their incantation, which is now the agreed upon term for their vocalizations, is an effort to express that resonance using human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences if the incantation were recited in a different language? The most common word used is want. Interestingly, every usage of the word is ascribed to a you. You want to listen, you want this to be true, you must want these waves to drag you away. Are we the you the hiss are referring to? Does the hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-hiss life, wants to join it? To be consumed by it, is that its goal? The second most used words are through and time. Is this possibly the hiss stating how they arrived here, or an indication of its age? There is clear intention in the words dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some of my colleagues recommend it is beyond idiotic. Refer to for full report. Researchers were sent to transcribe the recursive chant repeated by the hiss entities. In the interest of safety, this was done with the non-aggressive floating hiss entities. However, no distinction between this repeating phrase and the one repeated by the more violent hiss entities has been observed. What is the purpose of this repeating string of words? Is this how the hiss corrupts individuals? Does the chant produce a physical effect? Is it a message and an incantation? We were able to record a first-hand recitation of the chanting. See the corresponding audio record. Refer to file for full report. There's an audio record. Where is the audio record? It's not here. Emily, where is the audio record?
It's happening. After all these years, Dylan is here. But am I too late? How is he? I need to know.
He's clearly been affected by the hiss, but it's different than any other manifestation we've recorded. Maybe what makes you so special is genetic. He was a prime candidate. Or maybe it's Polaris protecting him, something else affecting the situation. I need to run tests. He seems more in control, more present.
I want to see him. My brother? Or is he?
Of course. Now, Marshall set up an HRA-warded cage to contain him. It's on the upper floor, up the stairs.
Okay, I need to go.
Jesse, be careful.
Dylan. Oh.
God, she have to write everything in her made-up gibberish code. Fucking Marshall with her CIA spy shit. God.
What was that? That's interesting.
I found this token. Any idea what it does?
Ah, that is a jukebox token. Little bastards turn up in the weirdest places, like bad pennies. The Rangers use them to activate an old object of power.
A jukebox, I assume. Does it have any good songs?
Nope, just the one record. Hey, be careful turning it on, though. When it's playing, you get a free trip to the formation.
The formation? That sounds ominous. Why does it send you there?
The Bureau has been wondering that for years. I mean, it's just a pile of rocks built by God knows who, but... Well, researchers have confirmed it's in the same threshold as the quarry. No one's ever been able to map a physical route to the formation from maintenance.
So it's in the quarry. You just don't know where.
Pretty much. We only send in annual expeditions to the formation now. Checkups, Salvador calls them. This year's team went in the day the Hiss arrived. Come to think of it, the song should have brought back hours ago.
I can go in and take a look.
I'd appreciate that. The jukebox is kept just past the security booth over there. Just put in a token and enjoy the ride.
I have a brother.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
No, you're not.
Watch yourself out there.
I have a brother to take care of first. Base of the enemy. That's lovely. Where am I going? Upper level. Hey there. Why do I need to talk to you again? Based on the success of America Overnight, we would like to propose the creation of a television series that presents superstition and skeptical thought as entertainment in order to popularize these concepts among the civilian population and create less resistance to redirecting information regarding public paranatural events. We can also use a solid media outlet to test paranatural concepts on civilian audiences, seeing how they react to certain facts presented as fiction, in the event that the Bureau ever decides to make certain realities public knowledge. There are various show licenses that we could purchase and reboot rather than starting from scratch. One particular property seems promising, especially considering its content and tone are precisely what we were looking for. It's called Night Springs and has been off the air for a few years now. What more do you have to tell me about the jukebox?
I don't think I ever told you this, but I was actually on the path to being a ranger once.
Oh.
Did the whole boot camp thing. Even got rookie status. Anyway, not the point. My old ranger squad was a great bunch. There was 6 plus me. Remus, Hazard, Cho, Guy, Hepton, Stoll, and Thompson. They were supposed to get back from an expedition yesterday. We had beers and wings planned. Problem is, they weren't here when Darling handed out the HRAs.
Then they had nothing protecting them from the Hiss.
You see, they prepped for the worst, but I think that we're already past that. We all wore these pouches around our neck, and I really don't want the Hiss to get them. Could you find him for me? The squad would have come back through maintenance, but they probably spread out from there.
I'll keep an eye out for them, Arish. And I won't let them stay Hiss.
You're giving me all kinds of missions.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Yeah, you keep telling me other things that I need to do. Finally other missions for me. Central Executive. I don't need the director's office.
Apparently the director restored HRA production. They're already getting other survivors out of safe rooms.
Yes, I am.
Maybe I can get...
Dr. Darling has personally recommended Miss Pope for a promotion based on her work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. See research reports for breakthroughs resulting from her work. Oh, I thought Emily Pope wrote this report. That would have been conflict of interest. According to her colleagues, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranatural concepts. She is professional and diligent, though some of her co-workers complain of social disinterest. The review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Miss Pope to the position of research specialist. Congratulations!
I miss having a door to close up.
There's all kinds of boulders. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are often unreliable. If the power of collective unconsciousness is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural for the oldest house to them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving at too fast a pace for the to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Refer to file 419-1935 for a full report. So remember to leave your phone outside of this place before you walk in. What is that? You want to stare at the radio better? He's watching me. Is he down here? Dylan! Why are you floating?
The thunders home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your inside by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the way. You've always been in there. You want this to be true. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunders home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but
Dylan needs subtitles.
you are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunders home distorts you.
That's Dylan.
White pearls,
Can
but
you
yellow
hear
and
me?
red in the eye.
Oh, come on, Dylan. I'm here.
By the door.
I found you.
Surface into the way. You've always been in there. You want this to be true.
Do you know who I am? Oh, you know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign. Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan. Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better. Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please? Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good. They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit. Shit. He can see you. This is not safe.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small, in Ordinary, in the desert, through the door opened up by the slide projector. But she didn't help when Trench took me away. She didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers. She didn't help when they locked me up for years. After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home.
The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does. They used it. And they found... They opened the door up to the hiss. That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny.
I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau. The hiss is the better option. Go to the Prime Candidate program in the containment sector. I have the keycard to get you there. Salvador wanted me to have it.
Wanted? Bullshit. I saw what the hiss did to Salvador. What it turned him into.
Okay, Dylan. I'll go. I want to see the truth for myself.
I'll go. But only to look for the slide projector. You can help me. We can end this.
You are warm through time. You are warm through time. The thunder's home distorts you.
Level 6. What else does he have to say?
I don't know what else I'm hoping to find here.
Dylan. Can we talk?
I'd like to tell you about a dream I had last night.
Off to a good start.
Okay. I'm listening.
I was back in Ordinary, before all of this happened. But in the dream, I was alone. It was just me. I was the only child. A girl. My name was Jesse Dylan Faden. But then the Bureau came and caught me, brought me back here, locked me up. Have you ever noticed that our names, Jesse, Dylan, they could be girls' names, boys' names, could be anything. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Sure. What the hell was that? Is he trying to mess with me?
You are warm through time. The thunder's home distorts you.
I find him kind of weird.
White burns, but
Maybe Dylan's still in there. Maybe there's a way to reach him.
I'd like to talk to my brother, please. Dylan?
Dylan would like to tell you about a dream he had just now.
This again?
I was going to be the new director of this place. I helped you get a job here, so that we could be together. You were an office assistant. You'd make coffee and deliver the mail, and there was always plenty of work to do. And it stayed that way, forever and ever. It was nice. Really nice.
That's debatable.
But here's the strange thing. The dream shifted, and none of it was real anymore. It was a game. We were in a game, And it was a fucking boring game. But you couldn't stop playing. And then it shifted again. Or maybe it was another dream already. Or maybe I'm just confusing them. But in this other dream, it was more like a musical. This is an ordinary song about an ordinary girl from an ordinary town. It's the ordinary story. She worked an ordinary job in an ordinary office. Something. And that's all I can remember of that dream.
Maybe that's for the best.
You are warm through time. The thunders hum
How many red triangles does it have
Maybe
for
I
me?
can learn more about the hiss from him.
Can we talk?
I just had an interesting dream.
You have a lot of dreams.
Shit.
That's fascinating, but let's talk about the hiss for a change, yeah?
This dream was about the hiss.
Best I'm gonna get.
In my dream, the hiss had broken free of this prison, this house. I'd set it free. And the president himself was there to welcome us. He was the first one to take the hiss in. Spread the word. At first, many people thought it was horrifying. That he was horrifying. But also, many people who heard his words wanted to welcome the hiss in. And slowly, more and more of them came around until the whole world was brought together by the hiss. It was wonderful.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that.
For the record, that will never happen. Not as long as I'm alive.
The thunders hum distorts you. Happiness comes.
Maybe I'm just here to punish myself.
Yeah, I'm punishing
Any
you.
new dreams you'd like to share, Dylan?
I'm glad you asked, sister. This dream, like all dreams now, felt very real. Like reality. And reality now feels like a dream. Maybe it's all a dream. Maybe it's all real.
Dream where my brother endlessly tells me about his dreams.
I was in a dark place, and there was a dark man there. His name was Mr. Door, and he told me that there are many worlds, side by side, on top of each other, some inside of others. In one world, there was a writer who wrote a story about a cop. In another world, the cop was real. Door said he himself was in all of them at the same time, endlessly shifting between them. I asked him how I could reach these worlds. I wanted to bring the hiss there. But he didn't want to help me. He didn't like the idea. What did he know?
I'm not wild about the idea myself.
Through time, the thunders hum distorts you.
Okay, I better get going. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here too. It's like 10 minutes of dream sequence. That's more than enough to mess you guys up, I'm sure. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Get out of my way. Bye bye.